Now we're going to look at the chart for Ruth Bader Ginsberg. If you were to look to the eastern horizon when she was born in March 15th, 1933, at 22 hours in Brooklyn, you would see the constellation associated with Libra rising at 22 degrees. 22 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet within 5 degrees of that has major impact, positive or negative. So now we're going to first look at and see how the planets are operating and their strength, and then we'll look at and see it when they're operating, and then we'll see if there are any remedies that can be helpful. So first, let's look at the planets. She's a Libra, and Libras are known for their fair and balanced look at things. She's a Supreme Court justice. So let's look at Sun. Sun is rising, is ruling the house of income, and it's placed in the house of health issues and conflict and litigation. So you could say she gained income through litigation, through law. And Moon is at 25 degrees, which is close to the most effective point, and it is ruling the house, the career house, and it's placed in the first house. So that give her career through women's rights. And also, it's good to be noted that her mom died in 1950 during a moon period, and Moon was afflicted at that time as well. Mars is at 12 degrees. It is ruling the house of partnerships, and it is placed in the house of income. So again, Mars can be considered in terms of it has to do with property and litigation as well, and it is again ruling the house of partnerships. So partnerships in litigation, and gave her fair about activism for women's rights in her career. Mercury is at 14 degrees, and any multiconal sign 1, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11 that is found in the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th house becomes functional malefic along with Rahu and Ketu. So we see here Mercury is ruling Virgo, placed in the 12th house. So Mercury is in the 6th house of conflict and litigation. And so she had grown spiritually through her women's rights, and she has a very fine intellect and great ability to litigate or debate. So I'd say that all comes from the 12th house and Mercury itself. Jupiter is at 24 degrees, which is close to the most effective point, so it makes it a very powerful planet in her chart. And it is ruling the house of business success. And so she has success through law. Jupiter has to do with legal and morality, and it is conjunct Venus. So women's rights were a big focus of her legal career. Venus is at 22 degrees, and it's close to the most effective point as well, or right on the most effective point. And it is ruling this house of life purpose and health. So she has her life purpose has to do with women's rights. Venus is about women. And it also has to do with pancreas. And you can see in her chart that she had pancreatic cancer in 2009 during a Venus period where Venus was afflicted. Saturn is at 19 degrees, also close to the most effective point. So she has 4 planets close to the most effective point. And so Saturn rules the house of children, and Jupiter also represents children and husband. So we'll look at that some more. So children, and Saturn is ruling this house of, children, investments, education. So she had children. So she had good children, and I think her role or service is to educate others about women's rights. Very powerful intellect. Saturn also has to do with longevity. So it's a very powerful planet in her chart, basically. Now, Rahu and Ketu are at 14 degrees, and they give insights into the judicial system, and then also she had colon cancer at a point where Rahu was afflicting the 6th house. So let's just look at a little bit of these time periods. So here, hold on one second. Let's see. Okay, so first let's look at when her mom died. That would be 1950. So, whenever, so let's just see, 1950, and I think it was, let's see here, it's moon. The moon was actually in the 8th house, the house of death, so death to the mother. June of 93, she got named to the Supreme Court. So June of 93. Okay. So we can see her career is represented by moon, and let's see. So it was when the moon was very strong and well placed in the career house when she got named to the Supreme Court. And let's see, that was during a Rahu period, which gave good wealth and success, desire for. Now then, she had colon cancer in February of let's see here, 93. Wait. February 93. And then we can see K2, unexpected event in the house of death-like experiences. And then in 2008, February of 2000, actually 2009. She had, let's see, Venus, which is pancreatic cancer in the house of health issues, representing cancer, transiting the house of health issues. And Venus is very close to the most effective point within 5 degrees. Then her husband died 6/27/2010. Let's see here. Okay, so 2010 is June. Well, I didn't explain it, but the inner circle has to do with where the planets were when she was born, and the outer circle is the transits, or where the planets were when the event happened. So this is a very, very good tool to see what's happening. So June 27th, we can see that Rahu is at 17 or 18 degrees, close to the most effective point, transiting the ninth sign, representing ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter's husband. So Rahu creating some unexpected event there as well. And Saturn is also longevity in the house of death as well. So we can see from those events that these had a lot of effect on her. And now, what could she have done to improve her chart? Well, she has a very, very powerful chart. You can see Saturn's very strong, and she has all these most planets that are close to the most effective point. But she could have transformed Rahu, Ketu, and Mercury by helping children, which I think she probably does, and listening to Vishnu chants, Rahu and Ketu by listening to Shiva chants on Saturdays, and Ganesh chants on Thursdays, as well as helping those who cannot help themselves. And I think she does a fair amount of service work. But the most important thing is that she's strong and stays healthy, and she's doing an amazing job. So this is a brief look at the chart for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. There's a movie coming out about her life, which is very interesting. And she went through a lot of struggles to become Supreme Court Justice, and being a woman, a lawyer in that time frame. And if you're interested in learning more about your chart, you can sign up for a reading at vastucreations.com, or if you're interested in learning about transformational Vedic astrology, you can take our course at American Institute of Vastu.com. Thank you for listening.